Okay, in this video we're going to work on the Angry Movie Clips file, which hopefully you've downloaded from iSchool and opened. And now that you have that, real quick, this first video is just going to show you how to make a button, or remind you how to make a button. Now, just to take inventory of what you have in your Angry Movie Clips file, you have 3 layers: a code layer, a buttons layer, and a background layer. Now the background layer is kind of the star of the show at this moment. It has one frame that has some words on it, and then it has like 99 frames that have a picture of the sky. So the same picture of the same sky for a really long time. The buttons layer has nothing on there. It's a frame, a keyframe, and a keyframe. The code layer, don't forget, if you don't have your action spring, you can hit F9 to get that. Mine will not open, sadly. There he is. Now, if you're missing that, you can hit F9 to make that show up. Now, right now, the code layer on the first frame just says stop, which is not too exciting, and then everything else is blank. Now, what we want to do is we want to get a button to show up. So to get a button to show up, first of all, we want it on this layer called buttons, and we want it on frame 1. So buttons, and then click on frame 1. Now, there are some built-in buttons here in Flash. So if you say window, and then you're looking for common libraries, and once you have common libraries, you could say buttons. So window, common libraries, buttons, and then you have a million options for exactly what kind of button you want. I'm going to say that I would like a classic button that's green, and then you can just grab this and drag it right on your frame. And if you want to, you can resize it or move it or whatnot. Now, here's something that's really important. This poor button does not have a name. So he is a button, but he is nameless. So you want to make sure you get into your properties. Now make sure you select the button here so that you can see the properties of that button. Now this is his data type, and so it's like in Java when you're creating a variable, except for you did it visually. So in Java you would have said, like, I want a button named Bob. Here you just made it show up on the screen, and it is a button data type. He has no name, so I'm going to call this play button. So now he has a button named play button. Think of him as a variable. Now that he has a name, we can write code about him. So again, click on the button, go to his properties, make sure you give him an instance name. Pause the video if you get behind, or you need to catch up, or you don't type as fast as me. Now, that button now has a name. His name is play button. What we want to do is go to your code layer. So I'm leaving the buttons layer. I'm going to the code layer on frame 1. I like to keep all my code on the same layer. And we're about to write some code. Now, we're going to write code about that play button. So, I don't know why I keep wanting to capitalize the U. I'm going to say his name. And add an event listener, which is backwards because in Java it's an action listener. I have to say what the event is that it's listening for. It's listening for the event that is a mouse click, and then I have to tell it what to do when that happens. And it has to be, I'm going to tell it to call a function. Now I haven't created the function yet, but I will. So all this line of code here is tell that play button that he's going to be listening for an event. This is the event he will listen for, and that's the function he's going to call when all that happens. Now pause the video if you need to catch up, and please double check your spelling and capitalization, make sure everything looks good. Now I need to write a function. The syntax is a little backwards from Java, just a little strange, but it starts out with the word function. Then, what did I say I was going to name this function? Play it. So I'm going to write that function now. Play take in one parameter. Now, don't get freaked out by that, because that is just a variable. Flash does all of its variables backwards. Data type, name, and then a colon in between. So this function, play it, has to take in the mouse event. Its return type is void, so make sure you get your syntax correct. Colons, curly brackets, and then all I want this to do is this function will tell the program to go to and play for frame 2. So we're on frame 1. When somebody clicks this button, when somebody clicks the play button, it will call the play it function. The play it function will just tell the main timeline to move to frame 2 and play. Now, let's just make sure that that looks good. Once you run this, it's important to notice that the frame 1 had a stop on it. It's important to notice the frame 1 had a stop, which was not too exciting, but it stopped the whole thing in the beginning. So frame 1 starts off as being stopped, and then when I hit this, the play button happens, the play it function happens, takes me to the screen. Beautiful. You've just written your code for your very first button.